Creating a growth mindset is the number one tip to become the CEO of your dream life. Have you ever wondered why your life seems to be passing you by and you can never, ever get going on the things that you really want to do? It's so frustrating, right? Creating a growth mindset is like having your very own secret superpower, and it'll help you unlock the path to your success and happiness. My name is Jane Baker, and I have helped thousands of professionals untangle years of negative beliefs so that they can finally have the confidence to do the work that they love. So let's get going. So let's begin by understanding, what is a growth mindset? Think of successful people, think of successful business owners, entrepreneurs, the Richard Bransons, the people who are out there creating, being innovative. They just seem to have that unfound confidence and belief to keep moving forward, making really difficult choices that sometimes appear quite risky. But they just do it, right? They know themselves, and they have this really sort of unfound belief that the choices they take will going to be a success. They have what I call, and I like to call this because I love this name, an entrepreneurial spirit. And you don't have to be an entrepreneur to have a growth mindset, but you often see entrepreneurs working harder at their mindset because they face a lot more challenges sometimes. They do think differently. They behave differently because they know themselves really well. They have to embrace challenges and move through setbacks, and often see failures as opportunities for learning and improvement, always taking on feedback, good or bad, taking constructive criticism as something that is really positive. They just seem to have this really fired up energy about them, where people are drawn to them for their sort of infectious enthusiasm for life. Now, they live above the line. So what is this line, I might hear you ask? It's a line of choice. Picture it as a horizontal line that separates the positive from the negative, success from failure. In everything we do, in particular in business, in particular with our careers, because it's quite a big thing. We have to make choices, right? Even when sort of externally things are going on around us, we still choose just how we respond to any situation. We can choose, or we can not choose. That is the question. And we may not have control over that entire situation, but we can have control over our reaction, okay? And that choice can usually send us either above the line or below the line. So let's talk a little bit about above the line. So above the line lies accountability, ownership, and responsibility. Below the line, you're going to find blame, excuses, denial, bit of a victim mode going on down below the line. So if you take a minute to look back at any number of times that you maybe wanted to leave your current role, move up, or, go for a promotion, create your own path or your own business, you can usually identify with which choice fell. Those thoughts, those behaviors, what was happening when you were either above or below the line. So let me ask you a couple of questions for you to think about. Number one, do you avoid challenges and doubt everything you try to do? You may say to yourself, I'm not good enough to do this. I'll not bother. It's easier to stay where I am. That's a choice. Right? That's your choice. Number two, do you make excuses for not changing? Constantly procrastinating, putting things off. You'd rather clean the house or put your head in the fridge. I've been in procrastination, but I haven't cleaned the house because I don't really like cleaning. But I have had my head in the fridge quite a number of times. And that's another choice, right? Another choice that you have chosen to do. Number 3, do you think that you have to work hard for your money? Because you're watching others who are doing really well, you start to feel a teeny weeny bit of envy, and you get really frustrated and almost scared at the thought of even doing even more, because you just can't feel you can do any more than you're doing now. And you just say to yourself all the time, you don't know enough to get started, to be able to take it forward. So I'll sit where I am. I'll stay in my comfy slippers. Okay, number 4. Do you spiral when something goes wrong? Spiraling meaning below the line. And you sit in a bit of a victim state, beating yourself up for really not looking at why something has failed, not looking at what you could have learned from it, and maybe taking it as a learning for opportunity. Another choice. That's what you're choosing. So if you can relate to some of these questions, you probably might feel a little uneasy even acknowledging these questions, because we keep it to the back of our mind. And I know I have in the past, and a lot of people do. It's quite normal, because frustration and anxiety comes from a very fixed viewpoint of the world, and it can literally stop you from moving forward. Living below the line can have many, many consequences. Missed opportunities for growth in your career, not being able to move up into a job that you really want to do, but you just keep yourself below that line, or having the confidence and self-belief to actually leave the 9 to 5, start that new and exciting venture. You might feel you have no control over who you are and the choices that you can actually make. It's quite deliberating. Deliberating, is that a word? Well, you know what I mean. So what can you do to shift above the line? Okay, let me give you some help here. Firstly, number 1, it's really important, number 1, to be accountable for your choices right now and to make a commitment to change. Are you going to do it? On a scale of 1 to 10, how committed are you to change? If you are not a 10, what are the excuses that you are telling yourself right now? Write them down. Number 2, take ownership of your choices. Recognize when you might be operating below the line. I'm a lot more self-aware of your behavior, because sometimes our mind becomes so fixed, it's become our reality to play small, think small, behave in ways that just don't make sense, or even they become habits that you're not even aware of. Our unconscious mind is driving the show to keep you safe, and we don't even realize it. So this is self-awareness. Grab a journal, and every day do some reflection. Capture those thoughts and behaviors on paper. Ask yourself this one question: are they helping you, or are they really stopping or self-sabotaging your success? Oof. Do it. It's really interesting. Number 3, take responsibility. Only you can decide. Focus on finding the solutions instead of dwelling on the problems, right? Ask yourself this question every day. And I love this question, so please listen and write it down if you want. If I want to make a change, what one small action can I do today that will help me move forward? And you could go and talk to someone you admire. You could take a course to up your knowledge, that competence stuff, yeah? You could get feedback, because sometimes what you see about yourself, or feel or be about yourself and how you perceive what you do with those blinkers on, is not what other people see. So get some feedback, it's really useful. Then commit to do it. One small action every day. Because by taking one small action every day, you are literally starting to rewire your brain, right? How much better would that feel? How much more energy would you have? How much more control will you feel for yourself? So I'm going to leave you there right now. And thank you for joining me today in exploring this really, really powerful connection between the growth mindset and the principles of living above and below the line. And if you have any thoughts or questions on this topic, feel free to share. Come and contact me. I'm always around. I'm Jane Baker, and I encourage you to make the choice to grow and thrive in every aspect of your life. And just have a great day.